Total collapse of the US dollar. You guys better brace for impact. It is the total collapse of the US dollar. It's not going to happen overnight. Remember, I said it's a slow burn, but it is happening. All of the cracks are there, and right now people are putting their fingers in the dike trying to hold back the floodgates. There are so many targets on the back of the US dollar right now, and it's time to get prepared. If you're not ready, I mean, we've been warning you now for about 2 years here on this show. So you only have yourself to blame if you are not preparing right now. And today we're going to talk about multiple factors that are threatening the dollar and what you can do right now to secure your money and your future. The first major challenge the dollar is facing is its lowered position as the world's principal reserve currency. This is why the United States right now is actively involved in so many wars, threatening so many countries right now, because they need to have the US dollar as the reserve currency of the world, and they back that up with guns. That's what the United States does. We will lend our military, we will bully you to use the US dollar. That's how it works. That's how it's worked for decades since the Bretton Woods Agreement back after World War II. We will also shore up your shipping lanes. You will use the US dollar, and we will secure trade routes through the Red Sea, through the Suez Canal, all of that with our US Navy. Except now, that of course has collapsed, and the US Navy can't even secure shipping lanes through the Red Sea and through the Persian Gulf as a result of Houthi rebels.
Shalom, shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, brother, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, wherever it may be. Real quick, man. Real quick, it says brace for impact. It says the total collapse of the U.S. dollar. This is from redacted Clayton Morris. They put out pretty edifying information through the Spirit. I've been watching them for a little bit over a year. And, you know, even though I believe they're insiders, they do give some good insight on as far as what's happening in the world. Right now, you know, talking about an inevitable dollar collapse, which we've been in a dollar collapse since the dollar has been taken off the gold reserve back in the 70s, man, during the time of Nixon. So it's been a slow burn ever since. And notice inflation, soon to be hyperinflation. The cost of rents, and these things have been dramatically skyrocketing as things will continue to spiral out of control and chaos will ensue. This is all a plan by the elites to bring in an motb, as we always mention here at Great Millstone. The motb, which is the mark of the beast that the Bible talks about, will be the form to be that will be the new form of currency once it's said and done. Because as he mentioned, he said it's a slow burn, okay? And as we noticed, since the 2008 collapse, which dealt with the subprime lending or the housing market, they was selling used cars. Used cars was going for just as much as new cars. Same thing when the pandemic hit back in 2021, 22. I mean, you be all buying a brand new car because the used car sales were down, but the price of used cars were just out the roof, you know? I mean, grocery bills, I mean, it's like to the point you need $400-500 a month just to put the basic necessities in your house as far as groceries. So we're on the verge of collapse. And when it collapses, all hell will break loose. And also, he made a very interesting point as well. He mentioned that the U.S. dollar is backed by the military. And that's absolutely true. Okay, the dollar is backed by the U.S. military because, I mean, you can say petro, but since the deal with the Saudis have fallen through and Saudi is getting ready to partner with BRICS, which I believe they have a summit coming up in October of this year, coincidentally before the election or the selections. Pretty much the U.S. dollar is being backed by the military. So with that being said, it's a done deal, okay? I was just doing some apartment searching yesterday just to see what I could find, and I went to this property, and you know, the property appears nice, decent property, you know, not bad at all. But I looked at the price for a 1-bedroom and a 2-bedroom, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I said, for such square foot, I'm paying this amount, and on top of that, you have to pay, because they give you a $300 off the first rent, which is all bullshit, because that's really the deposit. Usually you have to put down a certain amount of deposit to secure or to take it off the market, and then you have a $150 admin fee. Then you have an application fee, which is basically them stealing money. That's high rate robbery. Because I was like, wait a minute, y'all add admin fees now? They say, oh, well, yeah, you know, that's just to take the apartment off the market. When in reality, the $300 deposit is really to take the property off the market, but they waived that. So they're getting that admin fee, and I'm like, well, why are they charging the admin fee? Oh, well, let's just use your background check and this and this and this and that. In the back of my mind, I'm like, wait a minute, man. Your companies have with these particular HOAs and these particular housing developments and these property companies. I'm like, y'all have free access to do background checks on people. It doesn't cost that much money. You know what I'm saying? So $150 admin fee is just highway robbery. And then a $60 application fee. Like, what in the fucking world does it cost $60 to process an application? She's like, well, you know, with the $150, that's to do the background check and this and that. But I'm like, I thought that was what the application fee was for. From what I know, when I used to rent, you pay a $30 application fee, $35 application fee, and then they do the background check, and they give you the approval notice. Okay, you approve, you can move here such and such day. It was a $60 application fee, $100, $150 admin fee, and it was a $300 deposit fee, which they took $300 off the first month of rent. So that's $450, that's $510 just to get in a fucking apartment. That's gonna run you $1,000 a month for X amount of square feet. And they get away with this, man. And they've been doing this for quite some time, man. So you wonder why people are all on edge. You wonder why people are walking away from their homes, they're foreclosing on their homes, and they're just like, fuck this shit. Because right now, man, these particular investment companies, they're capitalizing off this economy. They're capitalizing off people being broke. They're taking advantage of the high inflated rates and market rates, and they're basically starving people out. They're wringing people out to dry. As we mentioned, Hegelian dialect, there's pressure from above, pressure from beneath. So what you're seeing now is the squeeze that they're putting on people, man, and that's going to end in total chaos here. It's to the point, it's like, shit, I might as well stay where I'm at. Which where I'm at is not bad at all. It's decent, you know, it's quiet, it's decent, it's nice, but it's just like, shit, if I'm going to pay this for this, I need to upgrade the space. That way, at least I can break even. You know, so it's just a shit show at the end of the day. But like we said, this thing is ready to come tumbling down. So this is a real quick lesson because unfortunately I was in a meeting. I have to be back in 5 minutes, so I ain't gonna be able to have to cut this lesson short, but it's through. All right, so this is the book Isaiah 19, and I'm gonna start at verses. Let's go over verses 14. It says, the Most High, or the Lord, have mingled a perverse spirit in Egypt, in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to earn every work thereof, as a drunken man and staggering in his vomit. So everywhere from your real estate companies to your city markets to your state jobs to your regular jobs to your corporations, these things are getting ready to collapse. Okay, because we understand that the elites, they're done with Babylon. Okay, it's in a free fall now, and once October comes, depending on what they do with this BRIC summit, hey, the dollar is just for free fall. And this is why they're rushing to get these global systems up and running, because they need to figure out how to, we're gonna do a soft collapse, which is gonna be a hard collapse because people are gonna falter from it. And it says, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to earn every work thereof, as a drunken man staggered in his vomit. Okay, and you know how a drunk bum is. He's drunk, he's belligerent, he's all over the place. And that's going to be the spirit of this place. It says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Okay, so, hey, your jobs, your 9 to 5 jobs, eventually we ain't going to have these jobs. Okay, eventually we're not going to be able to go from store to store. We're not going to be able to eat at your favorite restaurants. You're not going to be able to go to your favorite venues and all this other stuff, man. And they showed you that back in 2020 when a pandemic hit. Hey, shit was closed down. I mean, people lost businesses. Rent went up. Shit, I mean, it was capital. People were out of work. And literally the crime rate skyrocketed, rents went up, and they were still evicting people. And those of you that was under that particular program, yeah, you may have been able to live in your crib because people got bailouts and stimulus checks, but down the line, they still had to pay all that shit back, man. The people were broke because they were spending their money on nonsense, man, you know. But it says here, in that day Egypt should be like women and should be afraid and fear because of shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he's shaking over it. Okay, last precept here, this is the book of 2 Ezra 16, and I'm gonna start at verses 40. It says, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and those evils be as pilgrims upon the earth. A pilgrim is a person that moves to and fro. It says, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose, he that occupy merchandise as he that will not profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that should not dwell therein. So these investment companies, man, these developments, all these properties going up, these new corporations, they're not going to be able to inhabit that shit. Like they say, 30% of the real estate in downtown Chicago is uninhabited. Same thing in LA. All these, they got building space. I mean, 30% of building space down there. You can't afford the rents. This is one of them big old skyscrapers. They say, oh, for rent, if you want to rent out an office, X, Y, and Z. But to rent out that office, that may be 30, 40 bands a month. And it says, and him that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth the way, and he that buyeth is one that will lose, okay? It says here, he that occupy merchandise is he that have no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that will not dwell therein. And he that soweth as he that should not reap, and also he that pertaineth to vineyard as he should not gather the grapes. And they that marry be as they that get no children, and they marry not. That's the widowers. So that's just how that shit, that's how it's gonna go down, you know? So anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakodash, Lord, will you be edified to the next lesson. Shalom.
Bulls attacking ships and cargo containers, so we can't even secure that. So the promise of security has dwindled significantly. Now, I have a whole nother video where I deep dive this topic, and I'll link it for you here. But for now, let's go over a quick overview of this. Since World War II, the United States dollar has been the world's principal reserve currency. And what this means is that institutions and central banks use the dollar for global trade for international transactions. For instance, commodities like oil, lumber, and gold are all priced in USD. And for